Hello, my name is Robert Algier, and I have decided to follow Jesus. My story begins as a youth or as a child. I was at VBS. I was one of those kids that would just go for VBS. It was fun, and that was the main reason why I went to church. Then as a probably elementary school, I got invited by Josh Yancey on the school bus. He rode the school bus with me, invited me to church. And it was fun, and I went there for friends and food, so I really didn't go there for the right reasons. But then as a youth, I went to the basketball nights to try to, again, meet friends and girls and stuff like that. So typical youth. And all this time, I was mainly agnostic. I didn't know whether there was or was not a God. I just kind of went and didn't know. So then come 8th grade, I tried to rationalize and logic and reason my life, and basically rejected God. I became an atheist and tried to rationalize everything that the Bible was saying and make it to where it wasn't real. That was a rough time in my life. Made a lot of poor decisions. Went all the way up to college and started drinking and depression. And then my wife came into my life, and she changed me. It was phenomenal. She's a great woman. She opened my heart and made me think of new ideas and try to change my life. I went to church with her for 7 years, and I just went mainly to be with her and try to learn, and it didn't really hit me personally until one day I just thought maybe I should check my life and maybe go through and see if there's something more. I got a Bible. That was a big help, was getting a Bible. Didn't read as much as I should, but I did start talking to God. I started praying and never really heard anything back from him, but I started listening, which is a big difference. After a lot more time of going to church and praying and trying to get into the Christian lifestyle, and not even just I'm listening to the radio, listening to Christian music, and not even sure. This whole time I was going through this cycle of almost there. Almost could say I can believe. Almost. And I was listening to that song, and it just hit me when I was singing, I have decided to follow Jesus. And I knew that I did. I don't know when it was. It was sometime before then, but it was when I sung that and actually said it out loud that I was like, yes. Now being a Christian, a Christ follower, I have found peace, letting go of hardship, grace, thankful for my life, my children, everything about it, my house. I have been truly blessed. Before I became a Christian, I would help people, but now it is my passion. I love to serve in all capacities, all ways I can. Here at church, I like to serve at work. I try to every day work to be better for everyone else. Try to help them in ways that they need help. And one thing that I really remember, or hit me really hard, was I was listening to a sermon about forgiveness. And for the longest time, like I said, when I was having this rough time and depression, I couldn't forgive this person. He did me wrong. He was bad. And I finally forgave him. I was freed from that burden. Thankful. And that's wonderful. So, Pastor Nick asked me one time to think about telling a 7-year-old, which isn't that hard because I have a 9-year-old at home, so it's pretty easy to try to think on that level of the way to help someone become a Christian. And I'd come up with 3 main points. First one, ask for forgiveness. That means for your wrongdoings to others, wrongdoings to God, just your life. Just know that you have sinned and that you can just ask for forgiveness. That easy. And then ask Jesus into your heart. Because everything stems from your heart. It comes from your heart, into your head, out of your mouth. And if you can change your heart and welcome Jesus into your heart, and then love God and love your neighbors. Those are the two things Jesus said were most important. I truly believe that. If you love God and love your neighbor, you will change the world. Well, I've accepted Christ into my life, and baptism is the next step in our journey. It is to an act of, I forget the word, obedience. And I'm excited to be cleansed. Symbolize what I've already experienced, because I know accepting Christ in my life has done amazing things.
Hi, my name is Haley Hickam. I've decided to follow Christ. And before I followed Christ, I was sinning and I had a lot of hatred. And then as I was starting to follow him, he started to take it away from me. I started to trust in him. So that was a really big step, because I started to feel like I was like losing all the weight that I had on my shoulders. And like now I still have a little bit, but it's going away as I talk about him, and as I tell people. Like I've talked to at least 3 people about him already, and I felt good about that. So I feel like I was losing my weight on my shoulders. And Jesus helped me with a lot, because I was struggling, and my faith in him would expand. Because when I was really young, my mom made me get baptized, and that really didn't count for me, because like I said, it didn't really matter, because I didn't understand anything about him. I knew who he was, but I didn't know anything personally about him. Like I didn't read the Bible as much, and now like I'm reading the Bible when I get home most of the times, and I don't really take it to church as much. I don't know why I don't do that, but I don't. I get in trouble by Preston, but I don't take it to church, and I should start doing that, because that helps me understand the words even more, as I have them in my hand and at home with me. And that's just, when I have them in my hands and at home, I feel more better, because I have them with me. I can read them whenever. If I'm feeling like I need to read something and I feel like I don't want to read an actual book, I'll go ahead and read that. That's what I do. And my life is different now, because I feel like I have a lot of weight off my shoulders, and I feel like more happier that I can talk to anybody without, and I feel like I can be more out and open with him about Jesus, out and open with Jesus, without having to because before I followed him, I was like not myself around people, but then now I can be myself with people around talking about Jesus. Like people talk about Jesus all the time, so I'm just like in the middle, hey. So I feel happy, and my baptism is going to be another big step, because I actually feel like I'm ready for this baptism. I feel like I'm more capable to follow Jesus and understand how he is making our lives better. He's making my life better by taking the weight off my shoulders, not hating as much, and I'm forgiving those people who did what they did a couple years ago to my father, and it's a lot better off my weight, my shoulders.